Welcome to the Bookworm Bindery with Cathy-Lynn. I am here today to show you the finished product of the Muslin and Lace Junk Journal. So I had really thought I was going to do one more video of putting all the bits and pieces together, but I was just playing along and all of a sudden I realized it was done and I thought, oh, well, I guess I'm not. So this is the cover. I'm going to show you the top. It's got just a nice piece of scrap lace tying it together. And this is with a little bit, I could mush it more, but this is with a little bit of compression. It's ridiculously thick and huge. This is what this part of it looks like. Now, in my defense, I have to say this was not intended to be a junk journal to begin with, and the spine is only a 3/4 inch spine with 3 signatures. So, yeah, it's really, really full. I did remove several pieces of paper out of the journal, which I know it sounds weird, but it's going to give it more space for all of the additional things. I now wish I'd taken out a few more pages. I made this book with, sorry, got a cat hair on it. Ha, surprise. I made this book with the thought of using a journal that had warped. The book board had warped. And so I'm like, well, this will be a good way to use it, and, it'll probably be easy to forgive the warpedness. And I just kind of went through my stash of ephemera, pockets, papers, tags, and I just started pulling out everything that just seemed like, I don't know, soft and pretty, and flowers and cooking and gardening and things like that. So I think I've actually managed to make a book that has no cat ephemera in it, which is ridiculous and will have to be rectified. But thus far, no cat things, unless I surprise myself. So as I'm making it, and it's just getting fuller and fuller and heftier, and it doesn't want to lay flat without the without the front cover just falling over. Although apparently tying it up for a little while has helped that. I thought, well, if it sits on an end table or a coffee table, it could just sit open. It's fine. I wanted a journal that had a ton of writing space in it, and I wanted the kind of journal that maybe when you look at it looks like it was somebody's, and now it's not that somebody's, and might have love letters or favorite recipes or things like that. And I tried to make lots of pockets so I would have lots of place to write, like to stick writing things in, whether it's papers or journal cards, that sort of thing. So the first thing that I have is a really pretty pocket, and I had this flower and I just wanted to use it, and so I closed the book and I looked to where a space was just naturally formed, and that was the best one. So we have a postcard, and we have an envelope with a letter inside. This is one of the altered paper clips. It's a pen or pencil holder. I usually write with gel pens if I'm writing with a, not, ink pen with nib that I have to dip. And this design does not hold those bigger around pens, but it holds like an old Bic pen, or it holds a pencil. And I had fun making them, and so I thought, oh, I'm going to stick one of these in here. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to jealous. Sorry about that. And then here's a corner tuck. So some of this stuff you saw me put in. And then some of it has been added in the last few days. But a nice journaling card with space to write on. I went through and counted, and if my memory is correct, there's at least 20 or 21 pages in each of the 3 signatures that have little to nothing on them, so they can be written on easily. And Then in addition to that, I have space with, things that you can write on. This is a great big tuck. I made it as a tuck, and this was a piece of paper that, it came in one of my digital kits, and one that I bought. I don't make them myself. But it's blank on the back side, and I thought, oh, that's nice. It's got garden things, and so we'll stick it in here as a writing space. I made this really fun pocket envelope with ephemera, well, they would call it advertising, from, that place, Tombstone, Arizona, and made some pockets from that. There's just another pocket with a little journaling card in it. Definitely room to write, definitely room to even write there, but this would not have been considered one of those pages that's blank for writing on. So this one was fun. So this had to do with those cards, the little baby gift cards, miniature size. And I was looking through and I thought, oh, this is blank on one side. It's a nice heavy cardstock. It's got a sheen to it. So I grabbed that. Now, this doesn't have to stay here, and you could put other things. There's also tucks. This one was put in as corner tuck and a corner tuck. So things could be slid in behind them as well, if you wanted to. It's just a nice piece of lined and then plain backside writing paper. And then this, I just had some really cute cards. Let me get you more centered. And this was obviously a cute little one with a rabbit. And I just glued it on. So it makes a writing space, but doesn't necessarily have the words showing on paper, right? Pockets. Here's a tuck. Here's another one of those adorable cards. So that's sort of some of the added writing space that I had indicated. These are the corner pockets that I made out of the flaps from envelopes. There's another book edge. Page edge. So here we had a nice, that did not stay glued. I'll re-glue that. So this had a really pretty card that can be written on, but it also can be opened up and written on. I'm not going to worry about gluing that back on right now. If I did that and closed it down, very likely glue my page closed, so I'll come back to that. I promise I'll fix it. These were fun. I think they did come with envelopes, but I have two of them, so there's another one in this book, and it was just a writing page, piece of paper to write notes. So I did glue this part in, so it's not removable, but it certainly can be closed up, opened up to write on. Pretty card. And a cut around that just seemed to fit the same vibe, so there it went. And there's still plenty of space to write there. So this is a card that I just glued on, so it's a big side pocket. I don't know why the two owls got put together, but they probably needed it. They're probably pals or something. And then we have the next pocket. This was a mistake on my part. I did go ahead and glue it down in a U shape, so there is a space behind this actual envelope. But I was supposed to have glued it in a C shape, and this was supposed to have been tucked in behind it. So I just found another card that was big enough, left it as a tuck, and put it on the same page. This was a really pretty birthday card. It was a blank card. It has been glued on so that it becomes a pocket for a letter or what have you. And the inside was also very pretty. You can see there's shimmeries. There's like little baby glitters. But on the back, the artist had a note. And I thought the note was really, really cute, so I kept it and I put it in. And we have, this is a double pocket, so this card has the top facing pocket. It's a set of cards that I made. So that could have two things in it. I just had this nice little tuck. Cute little card stuck in there. Obviously, any of these things can become detached. And for that matter, could be collaged onto a page or something. Or, you know, sent off, used in a different way. Okay, here's another envelope. Well, that one's glued better. It's card. Now, when I made these cards years and years ago, I don't know how well you can see that. Not well. It's a very faint print of this. And I made the envelopes, the cards, and then the envelopes had a peel and stick seal. And so I just tuck that in there. So the rest of the way in. And then it has a faux wax seal there. Tucks, tabs, journaling cards. This was a bit of leftover from one of the edge tags or belly bands. I'm not sure which one this was. And so I just used it as a fun little interest and glued it down. So here we have a belly band and a piece of paper ready to have notes taken. My fairy doors. My fairy doors don't always have fairies behind them, but they're definitely small and cute. And then there's a pocket behind. And then this is kind of a fun frame with, oh, I can't, let me do this. This is going to shock a little bit. Let me adjust the light. I'll be right back. Or not. Okay. So I just turned on a side light, and now you can actually see these die cuts that I framed nicely for writing space. There's a good sized tuck that has a couple things put in it. Here's another set of these tags from those cards. Reaching around here, maybe you can see the shadows of that. So this one is a loading pocket this way, and then this one loads this way. Or that way, you can go either way. But we also have a side loading, and we have a top loading. So that's kind of nice. I don't want that to get lost. I'll just stick it right up there. Just a pretty little thingy-bobber. And then this was half of an envelope. So I took my envelope, I cut it in half, and then I glued it in. So it has an inside, what would be the inside of the envelope, and then the back side by gluing it in a C shape. Another pretty card. I just couldn't resist. I know I did show this when I was putting these in, but just in case you didn't see that, an accordion pocket made out of this card set. And I did just use all of the ideas using that card set in this book because I don't know, I just decided I wanted to. So here's a little faux postcard or a faux envelope, and then I just put a faux seal on it. Yeah. Oh. Okay. So a pretty corner tuck, put a little card in, and then just happened to find stickers that the same flower, slightly different color of purple. Let's get that burnished down. Okay. So this was an envelope that I cut in half. I glued it in so that it had a tuck space, but where the flap to close the envelope went, on the back side is what this corner is. So it comes over the top, and it makes one full thing, giving me a tuck here and a tuck here, or a pocket here and a tuck there. And then we have just some pretty lace put down, another accordion pocket made out of different stuff. Still plenty of writing space. So, as chock full as this book is when it's closed, there is tons and tons of room to write in it. Now, as chunky as this is going to be something that you're going to want. So we have hidden writing space there, to probably use a book board behind. So let me just take this minute while I'm thinking about it and pick one up. I'll be right back. Thanks. That didn't really take long. Okay, so I do book boards in two sizes generally, what I call a large and what I call a medium, because they go with the sizes of my large journals and my medium journals. Oh my goodness, the cat thinks she's starving to death. You have time, about an hour. Yeah, sorry, let me calm her down. Okay, well, we'll see if that works or not. So these are the two sizes that I make, and I rarely make writing boards that actually match a journal, but oftentimes ones complement. So this would complement, this print would complement, it just doesn't complement size-wise. And these are the two that were at hand. So let me put the little bit larger one aside and bring this one over. So here we have the writing board, and if you wanted to write on this page, it's not really a problem because there's not bulky stuff behind it for several pages. But that bow is bulky, so we'll say, in that case, we'll put it back here. Maybe even just behind this page. Depends on how hard you like a surface for writing. And then I make and use, I call them book cushions, and they are snuggleable. I don't know if that's the right word, if that's what I should say. But you set your book into it, and it snuggles in nicely, and it allows you to be able to adjust to the pitch of the book when you're writing on it. Because right now, this is pretty slanted up. And if I had it in a book pillow or a book cushion, then it would lay flat where I wanted to write it. So, in goes the writing board. And then I would adjust my cushion, and then I would write. And then I don't have to worry about the, I don't know, the lumps underneath making uneven writing. So there was that little aside. No idea I was going into that. Okay, sorry. I had all of these windows that I'd cut out, and they were from, again, a digital that I had. And I was like, oh, I really want to use them, and I couldn't figure out how. And then I happened to notice that I had scraps of kind of a lightweight chipboard from boxes. So I just made a belly band. And then I tucked this garden gazebo into it. Things you might see through your windows. This is one of the interesting closure. I did show a demo on it, but I'll do a quick thing here. So it's been glued down. This opens and there's a pocket. This opens up. And then there's a pocket here, and in that pocket I have a piece of paper for writing. There we go. So this opened up, and here's this pocket. And then if you fold it back this way, there's a pocket here. There's a pocket here, and there's a pocket here. And this can be glued on, and was. If I can find a longer, that's okay, this will show. Creating a pocket back here. Kind of something for tall is nice. And then the ribbon keeps it closed. This could be a floating pocket. It does not have to be glued down. But there is that. And then this was just a fun collage page of pretty things that were left over when I was finishing up. Oh, okay, so here we have gate. I don't know. I think maybe this came out of Rach and Bella. But if I'm wrong, I'm really sorry. So it opens up, and then inside you see, a garden scene. So I made a pocket, and then I put this writing space into it. I did not see a demo on how to make those, and I'm not thrilled with the way that I put them together, so I'll go back and find it. Okay, and then we have this pocket. Close to the end, there's another envelope with a card in it. Same deal all the way around. Opens up. Could be opened up again to a full sheet. If you had a lot of writing you wanted to do. Thoughts, things you wish you'd told someone. Oh, I guess we should do this. Another corner pocket. Here's a over the edge flap card, and it's, lo and behold, the last of these cards, I think. And this one was just put in as a card to be written in. Okay. And then here's the other page like this. And then our final page with this beautiful print and a nice big card behind it. And then here's the very last bit, which is just a little pocket and belly band on the back cover. That normally holds my card that I use as a bookmark and, I don't know, business card type thing here. But when I glued this on, it got too big. So this normally goes in, and it's just my little advertising plug that goes in my books so that people can get a hold of me if they want to. So there we go. That was kind of a fun last minute addition, even though it cost me this. I guess I could put this over here. So there we have, oh, well, and then I just had to go find a dangle that I could hook in. I literally just hooked it into the lace. The heart says, "You are always in my heart." It says that on both sides. It has some amethyst color stones and then another filigree heart at the end. And when I tied it together with this remnant, I think this was eyelet off of a piece of muslin, and somebody had just torn it. So this wasn't meant to be trimmed. This was probably the bottom of a petticoat or curtains or what have you. When I was thinking, okay, I need to shut this down, I was like, oh, this is perfect. It'll keep that dangle from banging around and smacking things. And so let's bring this in. I don't want to put a lot of pressure bringing this in slender. I don't want to break connections or that sort of thing. So I just wanted a little smaller. Like I said, I could easily see this just sitting open on a side table or a coffee table. Come on, it's not an even bow. So there you have it, the flip through of the muslin and lace writing journal converted into a junk journal. Yeah. So if you are still here and you've seen any of the others, if you haven't seen them, go back and look. But definitely hit that like button if you are interested in this sort of content from me and creators that do like content. Please subscribe and hit that bell so you get all notifications, and that way you can see the next upcoming things. And the next upcoming project is going to be a large junk journal, hopefully without this big of a mouth, but definitely with a wider spine. It's a custom, and its subject is fairies. So that is going to start in the next week. I'm not exactly sure when I'm starting it, but there you go. So thank you. Have fun with your papers.